Hello, friend. So me and my plants have had a hard last few weeks. There's been the inevitable ebb and flow of emotions, mental burnouts, anxiety, depression, and some of my prestige and heritage houseplants crossing the Rubicon. And so I present to you the Great Plant Purge, an interactive experience. My name is Willie, and I make videos every week about my houseplants, my life, and I'm really glad that you're here. And that leads me to my next question. How are your plants doing? Are they thriving? Are they dying like mine? Are they stuck in the middle? Are you adding? Are you subtracting? And also, most importantly, how is it making you feel? So leave me a comment if you're feeling frisky. Also, this video coincides with the imminent 1-year anniversary of this channel. And what a way to celebrate by throwing out all the crap that isn't working. All right, so we're gonna do this in sections, and we're gonna start with the Great Purge, AKA the compost bin in the sky. And the first plant that is staring me dead in the face is this global green pothos. Last summer was like the great hope of the collection, and now it's just a reminder of everything that's going wrong. I'm not sure what is happening with this plant, although I do think it could have gotten some sort of a fungus. Just something made the integrity of the stems and the leaves be really soft, really gross. And then at some point I just stopped caring, which is, never a recipe for success or improvement. And we're not going to talk about it again.
You got it.
Okay. Next are these ZZ cuttings that I had the best intentions for. I attempted to water propagate these a few months ago. I think that these are actually starting to rot at the stems, which is one of the big reasons that I am throwing them out. Oh, this one's so hard to talk about though. Yeah, this I'm strangely emotional about. Monstera deliciosa cuttings that I've had in water for a very long time. Most of these have been gifted to friends, but what's left is just kind of languishing, and I don't think it would particularly take well to a transition of soil. I really will miss this plant, but I'm also really excited to not have this much space taken up from Monstera cuttings that I no longer need. All right, so this plant is, I think, the biggest dumpster fire of the group. It is a rotting succulent that is actively has mold on it. The top cutting of this is living in my succulent bowl right now. I'm really not enjoying talking about these plants, getting rid of these plants. It's not fun.
But that's kind of the point.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's the top piece of that plant. It is flourishing in the succulent bowl. So I'm going to get rid of these and then replace them with a new one. And the second part of this list is going to be the plants that I'm regifting. This is a lot more fun because I imagine them having great lives with new plant parents. So first, I am going to be giving away this bodacious Baltic blue. I made this last summer. It really had quite a journey. I overwatered it, and then a lot of the leaves died. But now the leaves are doing super good, and I feel like it has a whole bunch of new leaves emerging right now. This is going to a friend. Here are some pink princess philodendrons that I know I have shown you too many times, but I'm happy to report that they're going to be headed to their forever homes. They're looking good, they're feeling good, and there is half moon variegation on this one. And so ends another chapter in my complex relationship with the pink princess philodendron. So this is a big one, so I'm going to make some cuttings. And then part of this plant is going to be living in my bedroom because I feel like it's very millennial, but I want a nice overspilling and abundant fiddle leaf fig in my bedroom that is gray. The next section, number 3, is going to be the plants that are in active triage. They're close to kicking the bucket, so avert your eyes. This could be triggering. So up first, we have this Queen Anthurium stump. If you go back just a few weeks, you can see how promising this plant really was because I made a whole video about this tiny Queen Anthurium. Yesterday, its one remaining shriveling leaf dramatically fell to the floor with soft piano music that it was providing. And now I'm left hoping that a new leaf will push out, but I'm not optimistic. I kept it in the same soil and very carefully took a tiny spoon and dug it out and then put it in a smaller pot. Hopefully it'll get it more stable and then maybe it'll be able to make a leaf. This one's real sad, you guys. Here's an IKEA plug. All right, so this is a plant that I really hate is on this list, and most of its issues are pest related. So I think that that is worth talking about because I'm not sure how these pests are getting in my house. and they honestly haven't spread to any other plants, so it's very perplexing to me why this keeps happening. All of these leaves have mite damage on them, and I can't actually find any mites on the plant, but because they all look bit up, they're definitely there. That leaves my mind reeling. I have given it some systemic granules to try and eradicate that issue, and I have been spraying it with the Dr. Jack's Dead Bug. It is a very gorgeous philodendron. I really like it. It's very unique shape, and to me it looks very Victorian, which is very in my wheelhouse of aesthetic decor needs. Never feels good when you try really hard and it doesn't go well, and this one is not going well. So here's the new leaf, and as you can see, it's just chewed up. Also, this one is away from all my other plants right now, so I'm going to take it back to the quarantine area. So up next is this Anthurium fingers. It's just kind of having failure to thrive. The tips are getting dark. I moved it to a spot that has a lot better indirect light. I'm watching how much I'm watering it, trying to give it enough water, trying to not overwater it. And this plant is really it's a really good indicator of how much of a gamble buying these plants can be, because you think this is established, it looks healthy, I kind of know what I'm doing, but you guys, I don't think I know what I'm doing. We're just gonna have to hope for the best. This is a king Anthurium, which, much like the queen, seemed to be a bright, shiny example of how good I thought I was with Anthuriums for 2 weeks until they all started tanking. I really committed early, and now I think we're gonna have a mass exodus. The new leaves on this plant look pretty good. The old leaves are gonna get snipped off today. And I do think that I over potted this. So I may address that kind of like I did with the Queen Anthurium and down pot it. Optimism, look. I didn't notice this. There's a new leaf coming out. Okay, so this is in Enjoy Pothos, and this is on triage because it was kind of going the way of the global green. I think it was spending a lot of time growing these really long trailing vines. So I wanted it to focus more on getting the top healthy, so I gave it a very substantial haircut. I think I did this like a week ago, and I already am seeing some vitality and improvement on the top. And new very tiny leaves are emerging in the pot. It's like instant gratification. I feel better already. I thought I was a pothos person. I thought that was a core identifier for me. Oh God, okay, this one is awful. So sad. This is a philodendron micans. And if I rubbed some Vaseline on the lens, I could say it was a variegated one, but it's not, it's just dying. We have a lot of yellowing leaves. Part of this could just be because of the season change. It could also be that I think there's no chance I'm overwatering this. I was gonna say for a second that it's getting overwatered, but the pot is so small, I don't think that's what's happening. It did have a nasty fall a few weeks ago that I do think affected it, so maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe some of the roots were damaged in that tumble. In general, I think it's just gotten too long. So I'm going to cut this roughly in half. Hopefully this healthy bottom part will make a new plant, and then we can see if the top improves or if it is going to the compost bin as well in a few weeks. This is heavy. This is the Philodendron gloriosum. Oh my God, this just curled up my nose. Ow. Ah. It has some problems, but it's also abounding with new growth. So it is on triage, but a lighter version. Come in closer, let me show you. These leaves are chewed up and brown, but the new leaves are velvety, dust-free, and healthy. So I think I'm gonna give this a deep clean. I'm gonna cut off all of the sad old leaves just to kind of preemptively keep any spider mite parties in the canceled category. This one feels pretty good, but then I'm also superstitious to say that. But for right now, it's holding in there. I love shaking it. Isn't that cool? Oh, I'll probably break off all the leaves. This is like the Hunger Games. Let's take a moment to pause for the fallen. This was the little planter from Kansas City that had the variegated string of hearts. Am I gonna get another variegated string of hearts? Probably. Am I going to get one that is so small? No. So the next section is gonna be part 4, and these are plants that are actively on notice. They've been written up many times, and if they're not careful, they're gonna be fired. My mind instantly jumped to this plant, and that is this combination of so many dreams and nightmares of pink princess philodendrons. I'm so over this plant right now. I am so over it. It looks like crap, really sad, small leaves with no variegation. And then on top of it, it's looking ugly. It's just looking, but that's not nice. Is that too negative? It might be too negative. Maybe that's why it's not growing. It does still have kind of a Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent's castle look. I'm still taking care of it actively, but it's not the beacon of hope and possibility that was last summer. I am fired up about this. This one is definitely on notice. This is the Devil's Backbone. It's not growing. From what I read online about these, they are a succulent. These are supposed to grow like weeds if you have them in a healthy environment. I'm auditing the situation, let's say, and you start growing better. Another plant that I'm very fired up about, I don't like this. It's a Scindapsus. It just always looks shriveled, kind of sad, and all of the mistakes I made when repotting this in too big a pot keep following me. Here's a plant that is not doing good, that seems to not like it here, and that is this Aurelia Ming. Has a really fun shape. Now I'm just spinning all the good stuff about it. The bad stuff about it is it's never happy, the leaves keep getting yellow, and big branches keep falling off. Look at all those dead leaves. The 1 second shot where I show this beautiful little tree undulating, that's the fantasy. This is the reality. Am I stepping my game up? I think I'm stepping my game up because I do think this was being overwatered. And I moved it further away from our back door because I was worried it was getting too much of a draft. I think it's gonna die, but we'll see. Also, it's worth noting, honorable mention, we killed one of these like 2 years ago as well. We thought we were just better plant keepers now, and turns out. Okay, so now we're on to part 5, and that is the promising new growth, which are new plants. And I'm gonna show you those now because I'm very excited about them. And they've had next to no time to traumatize me or make me second guess my choices. And I recently repotted them. Hoya tricolor that I got at Menards. I think I showed all these last week though. Happy bean plant, repotted philodendron Birkin. And of course, I am happy to report that this Marble Queen is doing well. It's a lot of footage. So after I finished filming that big section of this video, I don't feel good. Getting rid of plants that I put a lot of personal equity into and having them not be part of my life anymore actually makes me really profoundly sad. I'm gonna clean these shelves and I am going to restyle and reorganize this to make a better reality for my future self, because today I'm not really very happy, and that's okay. Goodbye, leaves. So first things first, after getting rid of everything, it was time to pull all of the remaining plants off of the shelves and see what I was actually working with. Up next, cleaned everything. Nothing makes me feel more in my element and purpose-driven than getting a bottle of spray cleaner out and a microfiber rag and cleaning something. Well, to quote Valerie Cherish, I did it, but it wasn't that easy and it wasn't that fun. And as this inspirational music plays, I see it as a reminder to connect with going right into the feeling and not around it. This was a hard day, but at the end, I'm feeling strangely triumphant, and I hope that energy carries on to you. All right, so we've reached the end of this video, and I'm always looking for the perfect way to close a chapter or an experience. And today, I'm not sure I have that. But that being said, I find the process of things ending or changing to oftentimes be very uncomfortable. Throwing out houseplants today flooded me with a ton of emotion. And for the future of this channel, I am excited to just delve into everything. And as my plants grow towards the light, I am stepping out of the shadows. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. You are the very best, and I really mean it. And I'm gonna be back so soon you won't even miss me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Bye.